yüzük bizde tek yapılıyor.
Every ring is one of a kind, so each has its very own story.
Yüzüğün bir hikayesi oluşuyor.
Sometimes I tell a story inside a gemstone, but other times the gemstone has a story to tell me. I mean, we stay in touch, and I think we get along quite well.
Birbirimizle konuşuyoruz. En azından sohbetimiz iyi. Ben bir tarihçi değilim.
I'm not an historian, but I'm still very lucky when it comes to connecting with my past.
Bir sur içinde çok ciddi bir tarih.
I was born and lived in Samatya, one of the oldest places in Istanbul, which used to be located within the ancient walls of Constantinople.
Bazen Bizans döneminde
I had my training in the Grand Bazaar, where I met my master at the age of 12.
Kapalı Çarşı'nın 2-3 jenerasyon öncesine gittiğiniz zaman
A couple of generations ago, the Grand Bazaar was actually a school for artisans. Later, a certain mentality has emerged, dictating that you have to produce a certain type of jewelry using only certain techniques. And it's all about cheap manufacturing and machine production now. But that's just not me.
ben değilim. Şimdi şöyle düşünmek lazım. Hani yüzük, ring,
Here's the crux of the matter. A ring isn't just a geometrical shape, but rather where the craftsman finds freedom to tell his stories.
binlerin üzerinde kuyumcu atölyesi var.
There are and have been thousands of jewelry workshops all around the world throughout history. And all creators want to express themselves with a ring and to leave their unique mark. And I got lucky, because an idea struck me one day, a simple idea. I just flipped a gemstone over, and there was a shape of a dome, and with it, also the beginning of this design. This shape created an empty space for us to work on. Later, we found a way to fill the space. People may think we empty out the gemstone and place a figure inside, but that's not the case. We actually carve these figures into the stone upside down and later color it. This technique is called negative sculpting. And later on, we developed the technique even further and found a way to build 3D designs into the stones. I was surrounded by history. So when the time came, these stories came out naturally. This ring, for example, is very special to me. According to an old Armenian tradition, there is this ritual called blessing of the pomegranates. Every year, we open our shops on the first day of the year. But before even putting our foot in the shop, we throw a pomegranate at the threshold, and the fruit breaks into pieces. Its seeds scatter all over, inside as well as outside of the shop. And we believe this brings an abundance of blessing.
Ustamın öğretisi şudur.
My master used to say, we should welcome the good fortune, but also give some of it back. That's what I see when I look at this ring.
Topkapı Sarayı'nda eski saatler.
Now we're also designing watches, and there's a story behind this too. Years ago, I visited an old clock collection at the Topkapi Palace, featuring pieces from the Ottoman times, from the 17th century onwards. There I saw there used to be very interesting clockmaker masters who have lived in Turkey. These were Malawi dervishes who used to produce clocks with no commercial concerns.
Senelerce uğraşmış, belki 7-8-9 sene.
Some have only created one or two clocks in their lifetime, but they still work to this day. And look, there was no industry back then, so we wanted to put in as much effort as they did. And these last 9 years, we have done that. We will have our 80-piece watch collection very soon.
Bunu döndürdüğünde Tabii bunu Sevan gözünü kapatıyor.
But obviously no magic is involved in the creation of a piece of jewelry. It's not like the skies tear apart and there comes the inspiration. The truth of the story is this is a hard-earned vision I extracted from the history.
Yani bu kafada böyle bir şey yaratılıyor.
There's also
ama
teamwork behind it all. We have a crowded team here with our creative director Emre Delava and a group that includes designers, goldsmiths, stone setters and a sculptor.
baktığımız
Everyone is welcome to bring their own story to the table. We see ourselves not like the knights, but like the artisans of the round table. Because everyone can have a say in the creation of a piece.
sanatın yok olduğu, insanların bu sabrı gösteremediği,
Arts and craft are disappearing today. The old ways can't compete against technology, but we should remember our origins and where it all began.
birilerinin
Maybe in some part of the world someone watches this and ends up wanting to actually do something about it.
Tekrar bu algıyı yükseltebilirsek ve
If there is just one person who feels that way, well, I'd call that
ona
having left a
bayrağı
legacy.
devredebilirsek herhalde en büyük mirasımız bu olur.